Welcome to Faithfully Healed, a sacred, trauma-informed space for those seeking peace, healing, and a deeper connection through a Christian lens. I'm Latisha Sternod, a trauma licensed therapist, a clinical supervisor, and faith-informed wellness coach. Each week we explore emotional healing, spiritual growth, quiet strength that really anchors and grounds us when we live a life rooted in truth and grace. Whether you're carrying anxiety, working through trauma, or longing for a deeper connection spiritually, you're safe here. Let's walk this path together. Hello, this is the Faithfully Healed podcast. My name is Latisha Sternod. We're in the midst of Lent. We've spoken already about prayer, almsgiving. Today we're going to dive a little bit more deeply and focus on fasting. Now, when I talk to folks over the years about being Catholic and practicing Lent, there's a lot of questions and well, why would you give up something that doesn't really seem to do much? Or what is that even all about? And so when you're thinking about fasting, what we're really trying to do is align ourselves to the Lord, rely less on ourselves to be more open to receive and follow Christ's example, and ultimately really having more of that interior change. When we're thinking about what the church shares with us is that we have Ash Wednesday and Good Friday, where we have one meal and then two small meals that don't equal a meal. And then the tradition, we also have Friday, which can be fasting from meat. And from the outside, it can be just check boxes, these procedural things that you're doing. And when you dive into the actual rituals and practices, they really actually are quite healing and quite powerful. There's other ways that Catholics participate in this fasting practice, and it's not just through diet and nutrition restraints. It's through other practices like fasting from social media, fasting from gossiping, fasting from opportunities to do something just for yourself and not for other people, to fast from those selfish activities. So you'll be more open and available to give, to be in a place of almsgiving. There could be fasting from particular hobbies that are distracting and just take up a lot of time, like video games, or other hobbies that aren't bad in themselves, but the amount of time and dedication you're putting to it is kind of blocking you from other activities, and that could be more rewarding for self and others. So almsgiving isn't strictly just food, and it's not about diet or nutrition. It's really about increasing that sense of discipline, that ability to have some self-restraint, and to really be more receptive to the Lord and to be more focused and trusting on Him, and being less self-reliant. And that's, I think, the heart of the Christian path, is that we really want to be in a place and have a disposition of heart of dependence on God. And ultimately that means each other, because we're supposed to all be the hands and feet of the Lord. And so when we're open to receive and give to one another, we're really helping that loving community come alive here in our local area or in our own household. And that's the rub, because we have a society that tells us that we can be ruggedly independent, do everything on our own, that put you first and don't worry about other people as much and just take care of what you need to take care of. And it just is a different worldview. And so they're in opposition. And we just want to humbly invite people to consider this opportunity to be in a space of more receptivity, to receive and to be more giving. And that while a bit uncomfortable, because you have to deny yourself in that moment something that seems pleasurable or something you rely on for comfort, you're actually going to be open yourself up to a greater good that you wouldn't have had otherwise. So a bit risky, a little uncomfortable, but definitely worth it. And it comes with time and practice. And that's why as Catholics, we have a liturgical calendar, and we have this practice and discipline each year during the Lenten season to really focus on being in that place of fasting. So when you're thinking about fasting for yourself, it's more than just giving up something for the sake of God, because God wants you to be unhappy and you have to give some sort of sacrifice to show your allegiance to Him in this harsh, cruel manner. It's really about allowing ourselves to continue to have interior transformation. It's these places within our heart that we can be blocked from being changed because we're clinging to something. So for example, when we have a real struggle with, for example, depression or anxiety from a psychological perspective, it can be really easy to avoid things that are uncomfortable, particularly with anxiety. And that avoidance of any discomfort actually binds us and keeps us stuck in anxiety. Whereas if we're open to some of that discomfort, to be exposed to things that makes us anxious, paradoxically, that's what removes the anxiety from our experience. And we see that in all sorts of disciplines in psychology with regards to the mental experience of anxiety, and that cross disciplines, that exposure therapy, for lack of a better phrase, actually does you good. So while different, but there's a parallel there in the spiritual world where we're able to experience some discomfort, like not having snacks between meals, that we might experience a little bit of hunger. But that hunger isn't the type of hunger other folks experience and have in other communities and places. This is just natural, not snacking, versus what we have in an abundance of food in the United States and we can eat pretty much all the time. That ability to feel some of that slight discomfort helps us to develop more of a mental muscle of controlling our passions or desires and not always acting instantly on everything we have a desire for. And in so doing, we can be more receptive to be considerate of others, to be more of a gift to other people, and to go through harder times, because there are times where we have to endure some hard things. So it's a practice that we have to build that spiritual muscle. And it's quite a gift to yourself and to other people when you can fast from things that are distractions, things that really aren't serving you or really helping you being the most loving towards yourself or other people. So when you have this joint effort between your prayer life, your almsgiving, and your fasting, you're going to really be helping yourself be in a place to receive more receptive to the grace that's around you. Grace is free, it's not earned, it's available for everyone. We want to have a disposition of heart and open our interior to be able to be more receptive and tap more into that energy. And then ultimately being able to be those hands and feet of love and goodness towards others in the world, which is what we're being called to do. We're called to be that. So I hope this Lenten season has been helpful for you. We've got a little bit more time until Easter rings, but we hope that you can continue to move forward with your intentions. And as there might be a day you slip or don't stay on path, that's fine. Just pick right back up where you left off and keep going. And may this time of the liturgical counter really help you embody grace and live transformed. Bye. Thank you for joining me today on Faithfully Healed. If this episode brought you some insights, peace, clarity, I invite you to subscribe, leave a review, or share someone who might need a gentle word of encouragement. Remember, healing is holy work, and you're not meant to do this alone. Until next time, may you be in peace, held by grace, and guided by the Spirit. Peace be with you.